Over the years, technology has clearly come a long way. Incorporating this new tech is essential in today's world of business, and the roofing industry is no different. In the old days of home roofing, a roof was just a roof. Wood, shingles, nails, and enough people to put it all together. But we started seeing flaws. Exterior climate, pitch, and how the home was heated and cooled never really factored into the materials and techniques used back then. Now we have a much more durable asphalt shingle, and in some cases even metal roofing, a better understanding of how airflow impacts our roofs, and a few other pieces of hardware that help us determine where your problems lie and how to correct them. Today, we do things a little bit different. When a homeowner calls us with a problem, whether it be a small leak to something much more severe, technology, combined with years of experience, come together to create something much more practical and sturdy that can last for decades. In this episode, we want to talk about thermal imaging and how we use it to make sure your home is as healthy as it can be. When we think about thermal imaging, a few things might come to mind. The classic Hollywood use of thermal, for instance. The monster tracks down a squad of lost commandos in a jungle, seeing their shapes in bright hues of red and orange sticking out in the dark blue sea of trees surrounding them. Or maybe you think of the white-hot thermal, often seen in drone videos flying way overhead at night. Both of these examples are thermal imaging. So how does this tech come into play with roofing? Well, your home is generally heated and/or cooled most of the year. Without getting too technical, the old cold air sinks and hot air rises phrase comes from the second law of thermodynamics and Archimedes' principle. The movement of this air is governed by temperature, volume, and density. When the warm air rises, it can create moisture in your attics and crawl spaces if it isn't being properly ventilated. That moisture can saturate the wood in your roof, causing rot and weak spots. Eventually, this rot will open up holes in the roof, causing leaks, lost heat, and all kinds of other issues. Some homeowners may not even realize it until it's too late, when water starts penetrating their ceilings or destroying their walls. Water is certainly something we do not want in our walls and attics. Using thermal imaging can let us see two very important things. 1. Any cold spots in the home where there shouldn't be cold, and 2. Moisture. Take a look at this photo. At first glance, just a picture of a window. Nothing really out of the ordinary to see here. But when we apply thermal imaging, we can see distinct cold areas around the window where heat is being lost. The same principle can be applied to your roof when we perform our inspections. This gives us a much better idea of how the current roof is behaving and what steps need to be taken to correct the issue when we engineer your new roof. Here's another example. 2 photos of the same area. This cabinet sits directly against an exterior wall. Notice the dark colors behind the dishes? This is telling us that the room, in this case the kitchen, is lacking appropriate insulation between the walls and cabinets. Heat is clearly being lost, and now we know exactly where. Now let's look at a roof from inside the attic. As you can see, we have lots of bright orange and red colors near the floor. These tones show the heat from inside the home rising upwards into the attic. Totally normal. But notice the dark colors near the corners? These indicate cold areas, which in some cases can be totally fine. After all, we do want air moving through the home, so cold air moving through this area and towards the ridge vent is optimal. However, in this case, the dark tones are showing us moisture from a heat exchanger installed in the homeowner's attic. Long story short, not good. This photo is the bedroom ceiling of that same house. The temperature imbalance, combined with moisture, has created ice damming on the roof and gutters. The damming effect has allowed water to penetrate the ceiling, and it didn't stop there. This photo is the living room ceiling. That water continued to permeate the walls, as you can see from those cold, dark lines. To the naked eye, this was not visible until it reached their kitchen floor. They had no idea how much water was still in the walls, or how far it had gone. This is why thermal is so important to us. because it can help us pinpoint the weak spots in your roof and help create the appropriate solution. At Dynamic Roofing Solutions, we utilize tech such as thermal imaging to make sure your roof performs at its highest level, and not just short term, but for many years to come. If you're experiencing issues with your roof and want a local, dedicated team of professionals to inspect your home, then give us a call today at 412-407-7927. Or you can find us online at dynamicroofingpgh.com. Because at Dynamic Roofing Solutions, it's your roof and our reputation.